A huge thanks to Napa Auto Parts for sponsoring this video.
Welcome back to HH Wheels. Today we are here in Alamogordo, New Mexico to rescue our 1990 Chevrolet race truck.
It's New Year's Day and I am headed to the Savannah airport, flying out to New Mexico to visit my family, one, and to two, try and secure a piece of crap to drive home. I've never done it. I've never picked up a piece of crap and driven it more than 100 miles. I've always talked about it for like the last 10 years. The whole premise is to get out there, secure a ride home, meaning try to find the biggest piece of crap that I can find that'll actually make it home or might make it home. I have a limited amount of funds that I can spend on this. Caroline is going to be, I'm sure, very, very surprised when I call her to tell her to get on a plane and meet me in some city where I pick her up with a piece of crap and we start driving home. Let's see if any of these are worthy of rescuing. Yikes. Standard shift. Windows are busted out. Yeah.
Nope.
Maybe not this one. Oh, look at this thing. This is pretty cool. That is kind of cool. It's got the key in it. It's pretty clean in here. I could drive this home. Baxter Omaha. This thing's kind of cool. It's got a cracked windshield. What is this thing? What is it? It's like a little Toyota, I think. Let's see what else is here. This is Old International. Look at this door on the side. This is cool. Oh, I see. It was a Suburban type, and they made a truck out of it. I don't think I can get that running. Oh, there's a bus over here. It's a VW bus. This Ford Ranger right here. This is actually pretty. It's got all the windows. This is pretty good. No headlights. It's a lot of Ford stuff, but what's this VW over here? What in the world did they do to this bus? Ay. Looks like it might have been on the road not too long ago, though. Holy smokes. Yeah. That might be the motor. Yep.
Nope.
Motor's out of it. That's this little MR2 or whatever the hell it is. It's kind of neat. It's about the only thing in this group of cars that I would think it'd be worthy of maybe getting me home. I wonder if those headlights work. All right, this is a TR7 Triumph for sale. I don't know, man. I hear British cars are can be a pain in the ass. Just driving around town here in Alamogordo, it's kind of impossible not to see old classic cars. It seems like every 10th house has a classic car parked in front of it, or one taken apart in its backyard. Really easy to come out here and basically car hunt or car spot and take pictures of classic cars and finding stuff for sale. It's not that hard. You just have to make an effort to do it. Well, I gotta say, it looks better in pictures. What do you think?
Yeah, this is going to be a challenge if it works out. I don't know about this.
I like the body style.
Well, it does have some features. You know, it is a little bit older.
You need to give me an honest opinion.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's going to make it home.
Wait a minute.
Or not.
Let me put my I think it's going to look pretty good now. I think I got my good-looking glasses on. So
You got to give me your honest opinion on if you think it's going to make it 2,000 miles home or not.
We got to get it out of here first, so that's a mile and a half.
Let's see if it'll fire up.
James continued to look at one vehicle after another. Each one definitely needed its fair share of work, so he continued to search in hopes of finding the ultimate road trip vehicle.
Hey, bro, why don't you just sell me the Samurai?
No, because it would make it all the way to your house without giving you a problem. You wouldn't have to buy new tires or nothing.
All right, how much?
Come on, bro. Don't do me that way.
Come on, man.
That's
It won't start?
It will start.
It's not starting right now.
I'm telling you, it will start if I go hit it with a jumper. Gotta.
It's gotta be, you know, that's devaluing it right there. Well, how much you want for this $500 piece of crap?
About 25,000.
25,000?
Yes, sir.
Why don't you go, where's your house? Go back to your house over there. Mark, you know you're my favorite brother.
Boy, he's working on a deal. Isn't that good?
Okay, I found something.
Not only did he find something, he found something really awesome. This truck has an incredible story behind it. Back in 2002, two gentlemen, John Hall and Sean Teeters, built this 1990 Silverado 1500 race truck. The truck originally had a blown 383 and a 6-speed manual. Originally, the builders began building it as a dirt track car, but halfway through the build, they decided to keep it for asphalt and run it in the Silver State Classic Open Road Challenge. The challenge was a 90-mile road race. They ran the Unlimited class with speeds up to 200 miles per hour. Over the course of the entire race, they averaged about 170 miles per hour.
What the hell are y'all laughing about? You're about to drop this truck right on its face.
Oh, shit. It ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Safety third. It's got a leaky rear end, big time. 9-inch Ford. I like it.
Leaks.
Yeah, she's leaky. We're gonna have to fix that. Look at those quick pins too. You can pin out the shocks and put different ones in.
Damn, man. Pretty nice setup, really.
Yeah, it's Turbo 400, man.
Now I need the bolt.
Yeah, we'll bolt that back in, no problem.
Yeah, bolt. And just somebody ain't finished up yet.
That'd drive me nuts.
Damn, man, that's nice though. It really is.
There's a lot here.
Yes, there is.
There's a lot here.
After James and his brothers did the initial assessment of the truck, it was time to get this baby running.
I'm heading out to my brother's house and we're gonna get started and we're gonna see if this engine in this car or this truck actually will fire up and run and see if it's got good oil pressure and make a decision on whether or not we need to change the engine or you know, make other arrangements to get home. I got parts.
Good. Neat
It's
part.
got all the holes for the brackets. It's gonna be easy. We're gonna put an alternator on this easy. It's no problem.
With the alternator down there, how the hell
it's
they
not
thought
supposed to
that was
be
gonna
there.
work? I don't know.
Hey,
What?
trade me straight up.
Can't do it, bro.
What?
No gas mileage.
Trade me straight up.
If I had fuel mileage, if you had my fuel mileage, it would have it. But I can't see me keeping my foot out of this.
All right, here we go. You guys got the fire extinguisher ready?
We ready, brother. All right. Keep it going.
So one thing's for sure, you get all 3 seasons out here during the wintertime in New Mexico. As I said before, it's dry as can be. This morning I was wearing a beanie, had my jacket on. It's like 35 degrees. Now it's 12 noon, lunchtime, and it feels like it's 80 degrees out here. The killer thing is I got both my brothers helping me work on this 1500, and we've got the motor to turn over. We've got, we're pretty sure we have good oil pressure, got oil coming up to the top of the motor. The great thing about this whole thing is for 20 years I've been wanting to do a project with my brothers, and to be able to come out here and do it with them and them helping me like this is is really special to me. If you guys are out there and you're putting stuff off and you're not, maybe you're miles and miles away from your family and you want to do things with them, man, get out there and do it, because you know, time stands still for no one. New spark plugs, and the spark plug wires are actually hooked up now. Headed back to the parts store for the third time today. It's not looking real good on the small block Chevy engine that we have in the truck right now. It wants to fire up, it's not firing up. The ignition switch went bad, so I'm headed over to the parts store to get a new ignition switch. If I don't get this motor fired today, I got to figure out where we can find another engine. Turn the key on. Yeah.
Crank it.
Crank it. Hold that open.
Although yesterday proved to be quite unsuccessful thanks to a ton of internal issues in that engine, James still remained optimistic throughout all of his efforts.
Day 3 of this debacle so far. The race truck is not doing so good. The engine is not firing up. It's a small block Chevy. Should be extremely easy to get running. HEI distributor, as simple can be, but it will not fire up. I got the tires mounted up. We got the liners put back inside. The liners were perfect on inside the NASCAR tires, so we got those all set. I've got new rubber. Heading out to my brother's house, and we're going to go through every single thing again and see if we can get the engine fired. And if we can't get the engine fired, I have about 10 people all over this town looking for a small block Chevy for me to change out, and possibly change it out and get this truck rolling. On top of everything else, I hate this rental car. Whoa, you
There
alright?
went my eyelashes.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm good. I just don't have no eyebrows.
Let me see.
End of day 3, and what a day it's been. I'll tell you, listening to the race truck come alive has been spectacular. There's still some issues with it. Obviously an amateur had gone through it, over tightened the valves, a lot of stripped out bolts and nuts. It's just been a disaster. My goals today are to get this truck back together and actually drive it. So I have the tires, we have a push rod that's bent. We're going to change that out. We're going to get the motor back together, put the drive shaft back in, put all the fluids in it, see if we can get this thing to run and drive. Seems like every single thing we touch or try to do on this truck is just gonna fight us all the way. we have decided that this engine is just not going to work. So Chris, who was helping us last night, he has an old engine that was pulled out of a running and driving truck, an old 350. It's got all the pulleys on it and everything. So he's going to get that with his forklift, and I am starting to strip this engine. All the work that we've done today, taking it all back out. We're going to put all that on the new old engine and probably pop this engine out, put the new engine in. Yeah. All right, so what do you got for us, Chris?
A 350 high performance. No, it's just a 350.
Where'd you find this one, man?
This out of the pickup.
Oh, this is probably a 4-bolt main. Is that an 010 block?
I don't know.
We take this motor, we just slap it in here. What is your thoughts?
Cranking it?
Without cranking it.
Let's crank it.
You think we should crank it first?
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of effort. I mean, we could just put it, slap it in here and just be done with it.
Oh my God.
It came out of a running truck, right?
Yeah, it did. Where's your breaker bar at? Let's check it.
Okay.
We'll crank on it.
All right. Well, so those are your thoughts?
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't do it.
I'm hesitant. You're going 2,000 miles, right?
1,500.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Just slap it in. Yeah.
It was at this point where I could truly sense James's pure desperation to have this truck running and driving. He was literally vacuuming crud out of this second engine.
Got the new old engine in the car, putting the oil in. I'm not going to say it's not been a struggle, but I've had a lot of great help, and hopefully we'll get this thing together tonight and maybe get it fired. Junk. This got less oil pressure than the other one. Well, we've lost the battle on getting this truck running this time around. I'm going to basically take this engine back out. I'm going to give it back to the guy that was supplying it to us, and then I'm going to put the truck in storage for a few months. And then I think Caroline and I are going to try to devise a plan where we come out and attempt this again, maybe with a new motor. This truck will see the road at some time, I promise you. Well, I just left my brother's house, and the tow truck came and picked up the race truck, and we're taking it into town to put in the garage of my parents' house. I'm disappointed that I didn't get it running and driving this time around, but I had a blast hanging out with my brothers, and doing the project with them has been, I don't know, a life-fulfilling dream. I'm really happy to be able to spend time with them and do this, but I'm pretty beat. I'm really beat. The truck beat me up. I'm gonna make a plan, and it's gonna be epic. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is totally the wrong motor for doing a cross-country trip.
Yeah, but it's perfect.
Nice throttle cable there.
It's ready to go.
Wham! Wham!
It's universal fit. It's ready to rock.
Well, at least it's kind of pretty.
I was like, I really want to go through it and just like shine everything.
What?
This one has a grommet in it.
Oh, we need to find that. You got some duct tape?
I was just gonna stuff a shop rag in there.
Okay.
So a few months ago, we purchased this 1971 C10 with a built 383.
Of course, Caroline is imitating her best David Freiberger. Have a nice magnetic pan there for all the nuts and bolts, but this is where we throw it.
giving it a very small amount of thought, we all agreed this would be the perfect donor engine for the race truck. And we just crossed our pinkies, hoping it'll make the 1,600-mile drive home.
And it has been 11 months. We're back in Alamogordo. Brought part of the A-team with me, actually the majority of the A-team with me. We are missing one. Alex is not here, unfortunately. He had to work, but we're here for the next week and we are going to be working on the race truck. We are going to be putting an engine that we brought from South Carolina in it, and we are going to attempt to drive it home 1,600 miles.
Sounds like a planification.
I cannot wait to drive this, dude.
You see what I'm talking about? As soon as I saw it, I had to have it.
I'll probably be sick of it after we cross, like, probably the Texas state border, but we'll make it work. Maybe we'll sit on the stuffed animals.
You can cuddle with the teddy bear. I wonder how fast we can get this going on I-20.
I cannot wait to do a burnout, dude.
I know.
As soon as we surprised Bob with his Nova, if you haven't already seen that video, go give it a watch after this one. We got a head start on getting the truck and motor over to Mark's garage.
Don't worry. There's no chrome on here, so we should get home.
Where's my electrician?
I'm not taking that title.
I need my electrician.
I'm not taking that title, man.
Look like you're doing a pretty good job. You love me, don't you?
Sometimes.
Once the starter terminals were clean, we installed it, bolted the torque converter to the flex plate, and buttoned up a few more things underneath so we could fire it up today.
Whoa. I think this is a problem.
Yeah, dude.
You don't remember that the last time we was here?
Is it even bolted down there? Yep. It's blown in.
Looking for the fuel pressure. Fire in the hole.
Hit it.
I think it's got too much gas.
Which wires do we got messed up?
1-8 back over there would be this one. 1-8. 4 would be the second one back on your side.
Yep.
This is 5 and it's on the wrong one.
Fire in the hole.
I feel the need for speed.
It just need to be grounded, dude. I could be totally full of shit, but
That's what I think.
I
Not
hope-
that you're totally full of
Dude,
shit, but that needs to be great.
Did they do that so
Now that we have the motor running, it's time to start troubleshooting this awful mess of wiring.
we're at the end of day one. Motor's in. Now we have a lot more wiring woes ahead of us, but I think we have a good chance of getting this thing on the road. So let's head into day 2.
It's just gone way too good today.
No. None of this, like, talking about how great it is or things are too easy. Let's just not talk about it. Keep going, and it'll keep going just fine.
What we're going to do is we're going to get this thing fired up. We'll get the heat in the engine. We're going to see if the thermostat's actually working. See if we can get some flow into the radiator. See if we can get the gears working in the transmission. And make sure we have a viable vehicle that we can drive around. And then if that all works, we'll take it off the lift, maybe put it around the neighborhood, and just make sure everything's working. And then bring it back. We'll start working on the wiring and make sure all that's perfect for the road trip home.
When we arrived in New Mexico with our motor in hand, we knew we wanted to head over to a quality parts store for all of our essentials for this new project. Stepping into any Napa Auto Parts store across the country, we always know we can connect with the car people in the area to help us tackle any task at hand. We are so close to getting on the road with this one. On our way home, we'll be sharing our adventure on social media with the hashtag Team Napa. When you start wrenching on your project, make sure when you share it online with us, use the hashtag Team Napa.
Yesterday, beautiful weather. Today, it's raining. Welcome to New Mexico.
Well, there's only one wire hooked up to this fuse block, so yeah, dandy.
Was
We got some spare fuses.
that our problem?
Partially.
Yep.
Well, now that we have pretty much all of the wiring settled, we can kind of actually start focusing on putting things back together, which is big, which means we can test drive it and kind of shake it down and see if we have any other issues, which hopefully we do not. But we've got the headlights sorted now, so it is street legal. We have cooling fans settled. And then the next thing we got to do is check the fuel delivery system, make sure everything works and it's clean, because we don't want to run junk into our carb on the way home. So let's go on and do that.
I cannot tell you how excited I am to actually drive this thing. It's so close. Okay, so what we're doing is we've got some foam from the upholstery shops, and I'm cutting foam pads to go into these really hard race seats, because I think 1,600 miles is going to be a long distance to be riding on just aluminum. So, as Caroline requested, I'm making some foam seat pads for these bad boys.
Throw in the towel.
Here we go. Dude, drives pretty easy actually. Wow. It's pretty good. We lost everything.
Did you?
I got lights.
Okay, so fuel pump's not working.
We just died on our first test drive.
So let me go back there and see if something's wired wrong.
It's a loose wire or
It
something.
could be. The power wire in the fuel pump just fell off. Just to clarify, we didn't do this. Crisis averted. That was pretty simple. Somebody put one of the little fork terminals in a female slide terminal. It's awful. We need to fix that. But fuel pump works, so we're good. Let's try this again. The only flaw we have is the janky slide terminals in the back for the fuel pump. It came off, so it died. It's like we lost all power, but it's just a fuel pump. So we had to fix that, and then honestly, this thing's pretty dang cool.
Could you be quiet just for a second? This is my new favorite vehicle.
Ugh.
This is my new favorite vehicle.
None of this could have been possible without Mark, James's brother. He not only put up with us for the entirety of this project, but welcomed us into his shop with open arms and provided us with so much support. Thank you, Mark, for all of the love and absolute patience you had with us through the entirety of this build. I think it's safe to say you are officially a part of the A-team here at HH Wheels. Now, it's time to head home.
Running along so smoothly. Got the beautiful sunset right here. But I'm out of gas. No, it wouldn't be HH Wheels unless we ran out of gas, am I right?
Did you get the back shop boy doing the back shop boy things over there?
I was like, it just died too. I mean, it just flat out freaking died.
Look at Jeff.
I just crossed the ballast wire over to the main power wire, and hopefully we're not going to over voltage the Mallory distributor, because I wasn't getting the proper voltage coming out the opposite end of the. I was getting over 12.5 volts here, but I was only getting like 6 volts out of here.
Huge thanks to Holly for hooking it up with the new carb. This should be a little more reliable than our other one to get home, so let's put it on.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
She needs the nut driver.
Hey, could you get a bigger screwdriver?
But they say bigger is always better. It's true.
Day one of our journey begins here in Alamogordo with the goal of making it the 400 miles to Abilene, Texas before dark in hopes of outrunning the winter storm that's chasing us home.
This is the beginning. 1,600 miles in the race truck. Here we go.
Driving through this gorgeous valley on our way to Cloudcroft was nothing short of scenic. The small town of Cloudcroft is located in the Lincoln National Forest. It sits almost 9,000 feet in elevation. Unfortunately, the truck didn't love the climbing number and elevation. The transmission started acting kind of funny, so we decided to pull over, let it cool off for a few, and then we got back to our beautiful drive.
We can't decide who's going to be driving this thing. So what we're going to do is every 100 miles, we're just going to do a switch.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by his toe. We hollered, let him go. You're it.
First 100 miles down.
I don't mind.
1,700 to go. Wait. 1,500 to go.
Having the privilege to be able to slap a motor in an awesome car with some of the most important people in my life is absolutely incredible. Moments like this are truly what make all of the long hours, endless edits, and missing bolts completely worth it. We made it to the Texas state border and ran into our first electrical issue. The plug for one of our headlights is just so old and worn out that the headlight was working intermittently. I made what we had work until we could hit the nearest parts store.
We're almost to the hotel, but we can barely see out the windshield. We really need better lights, and we really, really need windshield wipers. It's not really raining, but it's more like a mist. One more problem, we got like a sticky throttle. I guess we don't have a high enough, big enough spring on the carburetor. Whew, that wasn't too bad.
A little pucker factor on the in the rainstorm.
Yeah, first 400 miles down though. Feels good. Let's go get some chow and get some rest. We'll do a little tune-up action in the morning and be ready to rock and roll. All right, so I was just woken up. It's 12 o'clock. And got the steering wheel of the race truck because a couple of ladies down at the desk decided to do their job and say that I can't park the race truck up underneath the awning at the hotel. And it's extremely weird because this is like the first hotel that they've had any problems at. There's something about a fire lane. They have, I guess I'm parked in a fire lane. I don't know, but I don't want to get out of bed. The positive thing is I get to fire up the race truck, and it's going to be really loud, and it's going to wake up the whole hotel. This is going to be awesome. Guess I better take the bear off and put him inside too. They're just going to get soaking wet. It's supposed to rain all night tonight. This is going to be just great. And not only have I had to get out of bed, but apparently this was left in here, and it's got an LED on it, and I've got no power, nothing, no fuel pump, nothing. I'm dead. It's crappy weather here in Abilene, Texas, but we are going to keep motoring. We're going to get some breakfast here this morning. Crisis is averted on the race truck. We figured out quickly that the cigarette lighter had some wiring issues, and they were crossed over and they were killing our ignition. There's a lot of hot wiring going on in this thing. It's not a lot of actual fuses. I think we have 4 fuses on the truck total.
What?
So that's kind of bad. But we are going to get on the road here real soon. Yes, that is a bear on the back of the truck, and yes, this is Olaf. In case you haven't been paying attention to the beginning of the video, we do have a couple of extra passengers, and there's Caroline.
We fixed our wiring debacle, resolved our no wiper situation with some Rain-X, and headed to Dallas to pick up the last member of the A-Team, Alex, and then head to Lacey Blair's shop and finally end our evening in Monroe, Louisiana. Thirsty there, James?
I think the motor is.
But you put a little on the other side.
That should keep us from blowing up. How about to take Lacey Blair for a ride in the race truck?
Are you ready?
Thanks to Lacey, Zach, and the crew for showing us around the shop and lending us a hand in fixing the bad headlight on the truck. But now, it's time to get back on the road.
Thank you for stopping by. You guys make sure to check out Caroline's podcast on the channel because it was really good. You'll learn some stuff, I'm telling you.
So Caroline and I were just having this great conversation about how awesome it was to hang out with Lacey Blair and her whole crew. And we're cruising in the race truck.
Going along, no problems, and everything just dies.
I mean, completely died. We lost all power except to the radios.
It's the cigarette lighter again. You gotta unplug it.
You think it's a cigarette lighter?
Yep. Just take all that stupid cigarette lighter out and disregard that. Tie that bitch off and let's go.
Okay.
Close that hood out.
So let's give it the old college try yet again.
You didn't go to college.
Let's give it the old high school dropout try.
Who doesn't stop at Buc-ee's?
Busey's?
Buc-ee's!
Let me tell you, the roads through Shreveport, Louisiana were rough as can be, which led to some issues.
I guess they fixed them. Huh.
No idea.
She just took off. Caroline's driving the truck with Jeff co-piloting. Apparently, they're having some electrical issues. The truck is shutting off. I don't know exactly what's going on with it, but they're losing everything. All lights, power, everything. Apparently right now, Jeff is just holding it all together with his... That's the text message I just got. So it looks like they're going to stop for some fuel right now. What in the world is going on?
Get me out of this dump.
We went through Shreveport, man, and the wiring started coming apart in this thing. We black out in the middle of it because those lights aren't like hot wired. So
Yeah.
when you lose the ignition system,
Just like, wait a second. So every time he loosens his grip just a little, the truck done. He grabs it, back on, no problem. It's terrifying.
I'm literally holding the truck together.
Apart from my endless laughter in light of this situation, that cigarette lighter just kept grounding out and causing mass failure to the electrical system. But a little Jeff magic, and we were back on the road to Monroe in no time.
I'm so tired.
It's 1:30 in the morning.
All right, it's Monday. We can leave now.
Yeah, I'm not driving. That padding only does so much for you.
Day 3 of our journey home was definitely shaping up to be the longest one yet. We had 777 long miles ahead of us before we got home. We would have loved to stop more and see more sights, but the winter storm was projected to bring rain, sleet, tornadoes, and possible snow, which was just not a risk we were willing to take on this trip.
As we got closer to home, I was able to stop worrying about the truck breaking down and really started reflecting on what we were accomplishing. I've been thinking and dreaming about doing something like this for as long as I can remember, and to have it come to fruition with this great team is just icing on the cake. wish my brother Gene was around to see the race truck driving down the road.
All right, driver, take us home.
We lost him to a heart attack in September. I think about how many times over the years that I just took for granted that my brothers would always be around and that I had plenty of time to do something fun and cool with them like this. Which brings me back to the point I made earlier in this episode. Make time for your family. Time stands still for no one, and tomorrow is not guaranteed. Tell the people you love that you love them. Take chances. Follow your dreams. If you can think it, you can do it. Now get out there and get wrenching.
Sweet smell of success.
And gasoline.
And gasoline.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's safe to say this was a very successful road trip. We literally put this thing together in less than a week. Road tripped it home 1,600 miles from Alamogordo, New Mexico, all the way back to South Carolina with fairly minimal issues. I'm pretty impressed. I think it's safe to say we succeeded, right?
Absolutely.
Right? Well, we couldn't have done it all without the help of our wonderful sponsors as well. Huge thank you to Napa for sponsoring this video. Thank you to Holly for hooking it up with an awesome carb so we get home in one piece. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave us a like, comment what you want to see us do next. Don't forget to subscribe, and of course, get out there and get wrenching with your friends because it could lead to a really cool road trip like this one.